It is incredibly important to me that we are able to offer affordable veterinary care, especially on the surgery side. Obviously our mainstay is, the spay and neuter, and that's not going anywhere. That is such a important need for every single pet. Being able to offer that to people and nip things in the bud sooner versus later prevents so many down the road complications.
Wellness care is so important because it gives us a chance to catch a lot of issues before they happen if they're in the earlier stages, and it also gives us a chance to provide preventative medicine. So that could be things like vaccines, flea and tick prevention, heartworm prevention, all those sorts of things. When those things are affordable, pet owners are very easily able to opt to do those things, and so we actually have an opportunity to prevent a lot of diseases. The other side of that is with affordable care, we're able to see those animals more often. So we can do thorough exams, and maybe catch a problem when it's in its earlier stages so that we can intervene sooner before it becomes a more dramatic problem. And that allows us to kind of improve things on the back end without having to get into an emergency or big workups and things like that can be more costly.
Pet retention services, really our goal with those services is to help keep pets in their homes when their families fall on hard times. So we know that unexpected job loss, illness, different things like this can happen to anybody. And families, when they're faced with these circumstances, shouldn't have to make the choice to keep their pets or potentially surrender them due to a lack of resources. So our pet retention services here at Animal Friends are crucial for supporting our community. Oftentimes families will come to us on the brink of surrendering a beloved family pet because of a lack of resources. So the support that we can provide to these families, whether that's in-kind support of pet food, whether that's lower costs on veterinary care that is needed to keep their pets healthy, these resources can sometimes be the difference between keeping a beloved family pet or surrendering them to a shelter.
A lot of the times what we run into is owners cannot afford vet care. So with the support of Animal Friends in the clinic and the chow wagon, things like that, we use the low-cost clinic a lot as resources. People that are having difficulties, either due to losing their job or whatever the situation may be, affording food or other things like that. We use the chow wagon a lot to be able to provide them with the resources necessary to be able to continue with their care. And that also plays into the education part of it as well, because whenever we give those resources, we also let them know, what the continued care needs to be, which kind of helps out that we're not removing the animals from that area, and helping the owner out at the same time. We're more willing to work with those individuals, explain the law to them, tell them what they can and can't do, what's adequate shelter and things like that. Obviously we run into situations that people just don't acknowledge what we say and they continue to do things the way that they were. That's where we end up stepping in, and we obviously can only educate so much, but after that is when the education goes away, and then we have to step in to potentially remove the animal from the residence. Our big one this year has been hoarding. We've had roughly 18 hoarding cases this year that obviously the organization has stepped in with the animals. I believe the number is roughly 200 animals from hoarding situations. So that's our primary one, and we believe that a lot of the situation now is people were home with COVID, took on more than what they believed that they could, and now that everything is kind of opening back up, people are seeing the conditions and reporting it, and that's why we're running into so many hoarding situations.
So getting to know our residents is one of the most important parts of, I would say, our adoption department. Their behavior assessments are incredibly important when we're doing adoption appointments for our residents. Knowing if they can live with children, if they should be in an adult-only home, can they live with other pets? Do they tend to guard their food or their resources? These are all things that are really important to know where they'll do best in a forever home.
Here at Animal Friends, we strive to be a matchmaker, which means that we want to make sure that everyone's on the same page with the adoption, whether they're on 2 legs or on 4. And one of the ways that we can do that is really getting to know each one of the animals, especially from the behavior side. So whenever our adopters come in, we're able to give them as much information as possible. In addition to their medical background, we can give them a behavior evaluation or notes from our fosters that give the adopters as much information as possible, so whenever the animal comes into their home, they are set up for success, both the family and the animal. Here at Animal Friends, we have animals come in from all different types of backgrounds with a variety of needs, and we need to take each one of those animals and look at them as an individual and their specific needs. And from there, what we can do is create specialized plans, whether that's bringing our medical team, our behavior team, or others from outside of the organization. Sam came to us in July of 2020, so he's been with us for a little bit over a year and a half. And he came from another shelter in West Virginia. And whenever he first came in, we realized that he had some things going on medically, and the primary one was in regards to his skin, that he had some pretty severe allergies. At that time, he had some redness, some hair loss, and some drying of his skin. So our medical team stepped in right away, did some tests, and got him started on some medications. And at that point, his body responded really well to it. So by about September or October, most of the redness was gone. His fur had grown back. He started putting on some weight. He was looking very handsome. And we really thought we were kind of in the clear. And then in spring of last year, spring of 2021, as everything started to bloom, like us, the same way with Sam, his allergies started to kind of kick up and kick in, and we realized some of those same symptoms started to come back. And so right now what we're doing with Sam is he gets baths 3 to 4 times a week with medicated shampoos. He also gets some topical treatments as well as oral medications. When Sam came in, he did have some behavior that wasn't ideal of what we would kind of be looking for one of our dogs when they get ready for adoption. We also found is that Sam is very smart. He's a very intelligent dog, and just like with us, whenever he's not being stimulated physically and mentally, he can kind of act out. So we started doing some more of his training, and with that we started doing things like agility and also what's called cooperative behavior or husbandry behavior. So what that means is, since we know Sam has a lot of things going on medically, he was going to need baths, he was going to need injections, we needed to be able to take blood. So we started doing a variety of those different types of behaviors, and what we saw is Sam's energy was being able to be focused, and that was really nice to see his stress levels go down, his anxieties go down. So we're able to give him that mental and physical stimulation every single day, so he has a great quality of life. We can see how that positive reinforcement training can then also transfer to that cooperative behavior we were talking about, where he can take part in that healthcare. Sam has been on an incredible journey here at Animal Friends, and we wouldn't be able to do it without our incredible donors to help support not only his medical treatments, but surgeries he's had to have and medications, and we know that we're giving him the best opportunity to move forward. Dogs like Sam wouldn't have opportunities in other shelters, and he's incredibly lucky to have been able to transfer here to Animal Friends, where he has entire teams of behavior, medical staff working towards his success.
2020 was a year of needing comfort, I believe. So a lot of people found comfort in adopting or fostering pets, and that spilled over into 2021. So those puppies from 2020 grew up into 2021 and everyone kind of needed a little bit of help with those dogs, and those dogs needed help acclimating to a new family and a new environment. Training classes have become an important part of Animal Friends University. They always have been, but we have found that a lot of people, because of those 2020 and 2021 pets, needed more help with training in classes, and we've actually had to expand the program a bit and get creative with being able to offer more classes, offer a variety of classes for different aged pets, and be able to do it in a safe way where we can still instruct the human and the pet as a team with keeping our space so everyone was safe. Having affordable training options through Animal Friends University is such a wonderful option for the community. I know that if I wanted to train as much as people want to train with their dogs, it can add up. It is just such a nice option to be able to come to a facility that's large, comfortable, and safe, and have quality instructors on staff, quality volunteers who want to help and be a part of your training team, and just everyone working together to make sure that you get your money's worth and you get to go home learning something to do with your dog.
Animal Friends has remained committed to our veterans and our members of the military since 1943, and we are pleased to continue to offer a variety of services. In 2021, we were able to launch a new program called Animal Friends for Veterans, and that program is a comprehensive and shelter-based program, unlike any program with which we've been involved in history. All adoptions for any veteran are completely underwritten, meaning that they are priceless, that the adoption donation request has been supported through the Major Ben Follansbee Memorial Fund. And for veterans who already have a dog, cat, or rabbit in the home, we're able to offer a variety of services based on what the veteran and the pet in the veteran's home need. When we find out what the veteran and the pet, what their needs are, we're able to provide those resources based on the resources that we have here at Animal Friends, and we're able to make a customized program for that individual veteran and their pets that are in need.
We know that Animal Friends is so much more than just a shelter, and 2021 really drove that point home. For yet another year, we had to look at things differently. We had to rethink how we face and solve community challenges. As is so obvious in the messages in this video, it was our resilient team of staff and volunteers who took on the challenge to just look at things differently and to solve problems. But it wasn't just about checking off boxes and hitting those goals. They did it with resilience, they did it with grit, and they did it with a whole lot of humanity. And of course, none of this would have been possible without you, without your time, your friendship, and of course, your support. So yes, let's celebrate the accomplishments of 2021, but then let's get busy and make sure that we're ensuring a humane and compassionate future for every animal friend.